guys, this is HuffEffects, and welcome to my second tutorial that I will be doing on this channel. And today we are going to make or fix or revise a block logo, a simple block logo. This is not that simple, this one. That's why I'm not going to be doing a tutorial on this one. But we're going to pretty much simplify and make it pretty much perfect. And what I mean by perfect is every single angle will be a 45, 90, or negative 45-degree angle, and all the gaps will be the same gap. All lines will be the same width no matter where or what it is. So on this one, another reason why I didn't want to do it on this one is because I've already done a tutorial with this logo and there wasn't much to revise for this one when he sent it to me. I only had to fix this gap, some of these gaps, all missing or a messed up anchor point here, and some other stuff. There wasn't much to fix. So instead I'm going to be working on, and you guys will also be working on if you want to work with me together. If you guys want, the download for this AI of this logo will be in the description, and the download for the template for logos that I use for actually for Bear's logo. And so you can actually make the outline the same way I made the outline in my first tutorial. And by the way, just to let you guys know, I did not make this logo. So if you guys asked me to make you a text logo, I did not make it. I can probably get the info about who made it. He's a really good graphic designer. I just revised it and did my own type of style with it. So yeah, but we're enough about talking about their stuff or anyone's other stuff other than Cydia. Cydia was a team that me and my friends started a while back, and it ended a while back. This was the logo. I didn't pen tool it clearly because I'm going to be fixing it, and if I pen tool it, there wouldn't need to be any fixing. So what I want you guys to do is on these two downloads, it's going to be one download, but these two files I want you to open them. The Cydia file, and this will pop up. You just click OK. And the template for logos. And what I want you to do is on both of those layers, on both of those files, just do Command 0. Okay? And that'll zero out the whole page so that you can see everything that you need to see. Now, usually when you open a recruitment challenge AI from a team, this is what's going to show up. If you want to fix it before you put it in Cinema 4D or before you make it a 2D, unless there's already a 2D, this is what's going to show up. But if you hover over certain parts, you'll actually see the outline of the logo in parts, if there are parts or if it's one solid object. So what I want you guys to do right now is go to your selection tool, or V, and by the way, you'll see what keys I press at the bottom of the screen. I won't be able to see it, but you will. Tell me if it gets a little annoying, and maybe I'll turn them off and just tell you guys what buttons I'm pressing. And what I want you guys to do is go from the top left down to the bottom right of the page, and it'll select everything. This is what it's going to look like. Now what I want you guys to do is make sure that the fill is above the stroke. This is what it's going to look like if stroke's above the fill, and this is what it's going to look like if fill's above the stroke. And I want you to right here, right under there, there's a little solid white color palette. Usually it's going to be white, it may be black. But if it's white, I want you to click it, or black, and this will pop up. Now, it looks exactly the same other than there's no red arrow going across this one. So it is a solid color, but since the background is white, it's not going to show up. So I want you to make the color black, and by double clicking the palette and making it completely black. Okay? And then after that, I want you guys to clean up the anchor points. Now anchor points, what decides where the next point is going to be, kind of. Or like where it's just the end of whatever, and I can make very abstract type stuff here, and I can go on and on doing this. Yeah, sorry about that, I kind of messed up and I had to fix it, but yeah, so I'm just gonna delete this. I was just messing around with that, so yeah. But what I want you guys to do is I want you to click on just this one layer, and you'll see that these are supposed to be straight lines, so you don't need these extra anchor points that are right here. So I want you guys to hover over them with the pen tool, and you'll see a minus sign. When you see a minus sign, just click them. So once you do all that, there should be 3 of them, 3 or 4 of them. Actually, no, there are 4 of them, because there's this one right here. You have to zoom in. Now, after you've done that, you see these things that are connected to that logo, and these are called handles. Handles determine what the curve is going to be, or if there's going to be a curve. There's two ways to get rid of them. This is kind of the pain in the ass way if you have a lot of handles. You just hold Alt, click and drag right onto the anchor and it'll go away. The easy way of doing it is holding Alt or Option and just clicking the anchor points, and it'll actually get rid of the handles. So that's the easy way of doing it. And this is just to make it easier to use, kind of, in what we're going to be doing. So after that, I want you guys to go back to your selection tool, highlight everything. Take that click and drag and hold, or click, hold, and drag up the template for logos, and it should go over to that, and then drop it right in. Now you can tell that it's super big right now, and it's probably going to be yellow outlining, and that's okay, don't worry about that. If you guys don't like the yellow outlining, you can actually go to your layers and just double click the layer and change the color. So I'm going to actually do that to blue, just so I can make it easier. So I want you to highlight all of them. You could do this, or you could shift click each one. And I want you to transform it, but hold shift so it goes, like, it becomes smaller evenly. And you can usually tell where the center of the page is just by moving it kind of towards the center, and you'll see it pop up where it says center. And now it's centered. And you don't want the logo to be as big as the back, as the like the banner. And that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. Because if you put it in Photoshop or something, you can always size it up without the quality being horrible. And I'll teach you guys how to do that right after this tutorial, or this part of the tutorial. And this will most likely be a two-part tutorial because I'm going to be talking a lot during this tutorial, and that's just because I'm a talkative person. So yeah, what I want you guys to do is, so while you're on your layers, you see on your logo, you see a eyeball and then a blank space. I want you guys to click on that blank space and it'll lock that layer. So now I cannot move, no matter what I do, I cannot move or edit this layer, and that's what I want. Okay, so now make a new layer. So how you make a new layer is right down here. It looks like a piece of paper with a folded corner. I want you to click that and you make a new layer. Okay, after that, I want you to press M and you'll go to your rectangle tool. And if you hover over the top middle one, or the top of the middle part of the logo, it should say path and it should lock. And I want you to click, hold, and drag kind of down and make a rectangle shape. It doesn't matter how big or how small, just make sure that both paths connect, or they both connect to the top and bottom path. And I want you to just drag it to the top right, or any blank space that doesn't bother you. And I just want you to lock that layer. You can either make it not visible or whatever you want. This is going to be called the default duplicate layer. And you guys will understand why in a little bit. This is the default layer that we're going to be using for the whole logo, and we're going to be duplicating it a lot. So it's the default duplicate layer. It's kind of a tongue twister, but whatever. So I want you guys to duplicate that default duplicate layer. Love tongue twisters. Unlock it and make it visible. And I want you to drag it so that you feel the green line. You'll feel it lock pretty much. And when you feel that, you just let go. And then I want you to extend the width over, but I want you to move your mouse down to the path so that your mouse actually locks onto the path, and it will lock onto that bottom left anchor. And I want you to do the same on the right side, but lock on the top anchor, the top right anchor. And then I want you to go down and duplicate the layer. And I don't know if I told you guys that for duplicating the default duplicate layer, but how you duplicate a layer in Illustrator, there's two ways. You can't right click, but you can go to this little page writing thing and just do duplicate layer 2, or the fast way is click and drag and hold and go and let go right over where the new layer was, the new layer tab was. And yeah, so then what I want you to do is I want you to go and rotate it. And you guys probably know how to rotate it, so I won't explain that to you. And hold shift and rotate it at a negative 45-degree angle. And just make it a little shorter. Go to your direct selection tool, hold the top right anchor, and put it over the corner. And you'll see your mouse arrow turn white. And when it turns white, that means that it's locked on with the other anchor point, and that's what you want. So I just want you to, make the size a little smaller, and that's perfectly fine right there. And then hold shift so that both of those layers are selected and go to Pathfinder. If you guys do not have Pathfinder open, if you can't find it, you go to Window and then Pathfinder. For Mac, you can do, or for shortcut for Mac, you can do Shift Command F9. For Windows, you can do Shift Control F9. Either way is perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter, your preference. And once you have that open, it's probably going to be at the top left, and you leave it there or move it over if you know how to. And after that, you press Unite. Unite combines any layers that are overlapping in some way that are both selected will become united. So there you go. Now I want you to do is go back to your layers and duplicate the default duplicate layer. Once again, unlock and make that one visible. And click and hold on one of the anchor points while you're on the direct selection tool and lock it up with this anchor point right here. And you'll see your mouse turn white again. And then go back to your selection tool, do the same thing, stretch it out some more. Shift click on this layer, go back to Pathfinder and use minus front. Minus front, any layer that's in front of the layer behind it, anything that's overlapping, so this little triangle right here will become disappeared, and so will the layer in front. And there we go. So now we have that. All we need to do is make this curve that is right here. And this is supposed to be at, I'm pretty sure, -45-degree angle. So once again, we're going to duplicate the default duplicate layer, unlock it, make it visible, select it, and make it at a 45-degree angle, not a -45-degree angle. And then I want you to press A, and on the top or bottom? On the bottom anchor point, I want you to line it up with the bottom anchor point on this one, so you'll see it turn white. Go back to your selection tool, extend it again, and do the same thing that you did with the other one. Do the minus front. And now you have the first part of the logo. See? And once you have that done, any of the blank layers, so it should be layer 2, layer copy 2, and layer 2 copy, or layer 2 copy 2. All those, and you can tell that they're blank when there's no black marks on the little window. I want you to select all those, drag it down to the trash can, because we don't need those. And guys, that's the end of part 1. I will see you guys in a little bit on part 2. Maybe it's going to be the next day, or it's going to be in a couple hours, depending on when I upload this video. And I will talk to you guys then. Please follow me on Twitter. It's at HuffEffects. I'll put that in the description and on the screen. If you have any questions, you can email me, huffeffects@gmail.com. You can message me on YouTube. You can do whatever. And if you guys want me or need me to fix your logo up, any type of logo, doesn't matter. I will be willing to fix your logo for free, for now at least. And yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, stay simple and sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.